And it's Monday, y'all. And I hope everybody had a great weekend. And man, it's going to be like 64 here in Michigan. So pretty exciting. But enough about Michigan. Let's bring Fred on. Fred, what's going on? Good morning, Fred.
What's up? It's sunny out here. It's very sunny out here as well. It's beautiful.
Are you
almost ready to open the pool up?
What about hitting the shore? Are you going to be on the boardwalk today at all? You know, it's warm. It's nice. Maybe grab an empanada or something.
It's been the boardwalk has been busy on these days because some of these places are starting to open up a little bit, clean up, open up. So
getting ready.
But yeah,
getting ready. Well,
get ready for fist pump season.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yes,
it's right here. So it's funny because Fred and I will go back and forth over the weekend to talk about to go over what we're going to talk about on Monday. And we were struggling a little bit until late last night. Like late last night really opened up today for us, which is really cool. But the first thing I want to talk about is I wanted to bring up a couple of stories that are, one that's not in the news, but hopefully if after seeing this, it gets in the news. And the other one was a big story that gets in the news, and it's why we love sports, right? Like why is it that we're so obsessed with sports? So let me set some context to this video I'm about to pop up. Now, Fred hasn't seen this video because I'm waiting to see his reaction on this. So my alma mater, L'Anse Creuse North, they played last week in the regional finals, right? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we've won that. We've been in that situation 4 times. So we've been in the semifinal or the regional champs 4 times. In my year, 97, I think we won districts and lost in the regionals. 98, we lost to districts. But this was a good team. And so we play against De La Salle. So if anybody knows De La Salle and you play for those private teams against a public school, generally we know the outcome of those. They're recruiting their players. But we go to double overtime. L'Anse Creuse North wins it. Fred, I want you to pay attention to number 24. This has to be one of the coolest situations in sports that I've ever been a part of. And this was high school basketball. Okay. I'm going to pile it up and keep an eye on number 24, Fred. That's my buddy's son. How cool is that? He runs right into the crowd and hugs his dad.
Awesome.
Fred, I'm telling you, I almost started crying. He's not even my kid. I was so happy for my buddy. I was so happy for his son. And that's why we love sports.
Yes.
Don't we?
Yes. We're junkies.
Yes. It's situations like that like, oh my gosh. I was so cool that I got to be a part of it and watch it. So now they play Tuesday at Calihan against Orchards Lake St. Mary's, which is going to be another tough test. But I'll tell you, this team has been into overtime, both regional championship and the regional semifinals, and won in overtime. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And then there was another story in the news that I thought was, okay, another reason why we love sports. Now, that one was L'Anse Creuse North, a little closer to home here. This one's a little closer to Jersey. And Fred, you'd already know about this one, so we're gonna play it. It's a little long, but let's.
December 19th, and he goes, "I'm gonna play opening night," and her eyes went like this, and she looked over at me like, "Are you people out of your minds?"
Just 3 days after his 10th treatment, Johnny Jackson walked out onto the floor for opening night at Ridgewood High. Johnny Jackson! And led his team with a 30-point performance.
To go out and drop 30 and be the best player on the court with everything that was going on, that was unbelievable.
I think adrenaline just carried me through that game. I was like, wow, I really just kind of did it. I didn't expect to do it.
And at the end of that video, when he rings the bell and comes out and his coach and team is there.
Oh, I mean, where he's walking down the hallway, right?
Come on, dude. Yes, awesome.
The dude puts up 30 points while he's in chemo. Like
First game.
First
Opening
game
night. Opening night puts up 30. He put up in the regionals, he just put up 31, I think, against East Orange the other day.
So now I'll be truthfully honest. First time I heard about this story was yesterday on SportsCenter when I woke up. What's this kid's like? Is there an opportunity for him to go play somewhere? Is he that good? Like,
he does have a bunch. He has a bunch of offers, but he's still undecided now. Like,
right. Okay.
I don't know what the offers are. Like, if you follow him on Insta, like, it doesn't really. You can't get clues onto like where he wants to go. Right. I do see, like, if you watch that video that was on ESPN. I think he's a Villanova fan. Now, I don't know if Villanova's an offer or not, but he is a Villanova guy, I think.
Okay, because I saw the Villanova jersey hanging in his room, actually.
Yeah, and he also has one on, like a T-shirt that says like Johnny Buckets with the V on it. Now, I'm hoping, you know me, I'm hoping he comes to Seton Hall.
Oh, but is that on the table?
I mean, it should be on the table. I don't know what kind of offers he's getting.
I mean, it's a good safety school. You know what I mean?
No, dude, no. For all you Michigan people out there, Seton Hall is the U of M of New Jersey.
Is it really? No, that's actually the first time I've heard that, Fred.
Yeah, the safety school. The Ferris out here would be like William Patterson. That would be like a cute little safety school.
Oh, here we go.
Just saying. It's a private Catholic university nestled in the beautiful hills of South Orange.
Kind of like the beautiful hills of Big Rapids in Michigan, right?
Not unless maybe if you're in the witness protection program, you go out to Ferris.
Makes sense. But we got to get into talking NFL. I know it's crazy. I know we have March Madness. We had a championship, but you and I are going back and forth. What do we want to talk about? And it, like, I think about 8:30 is when you and I started going back and forth with all these trades in the NFL. Like,
once DK popped up, I got a little more interested because, like, the NFL, and I was telling you this earlier too. It was like the NFL is turning into the NBA. I mean,
for sure.
People are just jumping ship. Contracts mean absolutely nothing. Like, and that's the other thing about these guys that sign these contracts. Yo, he signed for 6 years, 7 years. You signed this, that. It doesn't mean shit. Like, it really doesn't mean anything. But yeah, it's free agency starts today. So I guess a lot of deals were done. The Myles Garrett thing was a little weird.
So those of you who, if you're a sports fan and you don't know about the Myles Garrett situation, you definitely are living under a rock. Like he said the owners say, like, look, Myles, our intention was from Cleveland to Canton, right? Hall of Fame, your whole career. And Myles came out and said, no. My goal was to play football and win a championship. Now, I don't know where that's going to be. But then they sign him. Well, first Max Crosby signs for the highest non-paid or non-quarterback. Okay. And then Cleveland turns around and trumps that with the Myles Garrett contract. Now, that both of those hurt here in Detroit because obviously everybody in Detroit was saying, okay, who do we want, Max Crosby or Myles Garrett? And now we get zero.
Well, you got Hendrickson's still on the table.
So that brings up a good point. With these guys signing like this, does that now make the money, the amount of money that Trey Hendrickson is going to want more?
Or
is it going to cost Detroit more money?
I think it's the floor now. Yeah. Okay. I mean, but
you're saying the Myles Garrett contract's the floor.
But you have to be a total stud. Right. Like it's the floor for guys of that caliber.
Fair.
Now, the Crosbys and the Hendricksons and like and the Watts. Like, I mean, TJ's gonna, he's gonna want more next year too. I think he's done at the end of this year.
Okay, that was gonna be my question. Is his contract up after this year?
I think so.
But now there's a couple other players in the NFL. I know they had brought up like Micah Parsons still needs a contract. And there is one other defensive player. It's slipping my mind. Who's the other defensive player that hasn't signed yet? That they say could be, these two contracts could make a big deal about or have some relevance.
I'm not even sure. I'd have to look it up. So much stuff was going on that I mean, at one point, I think I texted you and told you that we were getting Darny Dimes.
Well, Fred, the nicknames are getting too much. Like when you're like Darny Dimes, like come on. But those obviously, if you didn't see it last night, Fred's obviously a big Steeler fan. We talked about that in very week one that you jumped on the show. Fred, why are you so excited on this Monday morning?
DK.
Wow.
I mean, I was talking to you last year about the situation, just in general. And I kept saying to you, like, who's going to be our number 2? Like, are we ever going to get a 2? And it was like, the rumors were like Davante Adams, Cup. It was just, like Kirk. It just kept going, and they got nobody. That they did get Mike Williams, right?
Right.
But didn't use him. But like, and I feel like when they got Mike Williams, I'm like, cool, that'll be cool. But then they didn't use him, so it was kind of like a weird situation. But like, we were always looking for a number 2 for Pickens, and now DK, like.
Is he not going to be the number 1?
I don't know. It could be a total disaster in the locker room, which is also awesome. But
because they are both kind of head cases.
And you're going to bring in like a new quarterback who's going to have to deal with that. So
it could either be absolutely amazing as far as the season is concerned, as far as record wise, or it could be absolute
dumpster fire.
That it could be just as cool.
It could be an A-B situation.
Oh, by the way, he was on Rogan just recently, and it was hilarious. Like he danced around so many questions about CTE. They're like, "Do you have any effects of CTE?" And he's like, man, it's just me being AB and scoring touchdowns." Like, dude, you didn't answer the question. Like, tell us the effects. But that's a whole nother story. But so here's another thing that I was listening to on the way in: is they both wear number 14.
Yes. So now they don't know who's wearing what.
What do you think is going to happen? Is DK? There's no way that Pickens receives a gift in lieu of giving up that jersey.
No, I think DK changes.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
I think he goes with something else.
I'll tell you another move last night that I think is going to be a very good fit. And again, as a Lions fan, this is like, okay, this isn't going to be good. Is Davante Adams to the Rams,
dude?
Right.
Well, losing Cup, they're going to lose Cup. So, but Davante Adams with Matty, my God, like, what is that going to look like?
And obviously Puka's number 1 right there.
Yeah.
So, that is going to. I mean, are we looking at like a Stafford Megatron type situation again here with Davante Adams? Like,
I thought he was going to end up going back to like the Raiders. I'm like that's where
follow Rodgers to the revamped Giants.
Revamped.
Yes, you didn't hear about who they re-signed?
Who
in New York?
Who?
Your guy.
Oh yeah, Tommy Collins. But
Tommy Collins.
but they're not revamping. They're on the listen. I think this is a strategic. Hear me out.
Oh, here we go.
I think this is a strategic move by the Giants to implode the organization. Because they need some change, right? Dable's got to go. They need a lot of change upstairs in the front office and stuff. Look what he did to the Jets organization. I think this is like they sign Rodgers and then they can blame Rodgers for the implosion.
Right.
and then start over
So you
next
think
year
we're going to bring Rodgers to New York, blame it on
and
him
bet
again.
bet against them.
I love it, by the way.
Listen, Jersey, anything goes in Jersey, right? So, like, to say like something like that, that's not a conspiracy in Jersey to bet against your own guy, to blow up your own organization. Like,
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
Sunday.
That's a normal day out here.
Right.
So I think that would be an interesting call, though.
Right.
And you're right. I thought, like, if he was going to go to the Giants with Neighbors and Davante Adams, listen, I mean, that's pretty dope. But, like, I don't know what happens, man. It's like there's so much speculation, like, about people going different places. It's like you just have to just not even think about it.
Right. But
Yeah.
the problem is we love to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I would love to see Rodgers in New York. I don't think he has anything left in the tank. I'll be brutally honest. Like,
Oh, no.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors. And like to see his career kind of go out like this as a Lions fan, having to deal with Aaron Rodgers for so long, I'd like to see a good automobile accident, and all one of the car on the fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What were some other ones? Well, a big one here in Detroit. I don't know if you saw this, but we released Za'Darius Smith. Like,
yes.
I thought that was interesting. Any insight on why you think we did that? Because I thought the plan in my head was to give him at least a year to see what he can do alongside Aiden Hutchinson, but they didn't even give him that. Is it something where we could possibly re-sign him or something? Like, why did we do that? I don't understand. You have any insight?
Yeah, I don't understand what the move was. Maybe he wants to test free agency or like see what's out there for him, but like that's not
that's not the vibe he was given at the end of the year when he got there. He was like the Rasheed Wallace reincarnated for the I was at three Piston games. He was there, like right behind the basket. Like,
I felt like he was all in. He was all in. Yeah. I'm not sure, unless they're trying to free up some money and go after Hendrickson.
Okay, but I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe he would even structure the deal or something to stay there, but I don't know. Maybe they bring him back.
Would you take Big Play Slay back?
Yeah, 100%.
In a heartbeat.
Great question. First of all, I absolutely loved him when he was a Lion. I love his attitude. He's a great team player. And now coming off the winning a Super Bowl, losing a Super Bowl, like what he can bring to this locker room defensively, absolutely 100%.
Yeah, I think anybody would take Slay right now.
Yeah. In fact, I thought it was odd that obviously it was a contract thing or something like that. But yes, I would love to have Slay back in the locker room and win one here. But what are the chances that we do get Hendrickson, and what kind of money are we going to have to pay for him? Like, I feel I don't know. This is like the first time in a long time that we're in like this free agency part as Detroit fans, where we're not hearing a lot yet, other than the release of Za'Darius. Like, what are we doing? Wait, come on. Like, we want to be in this party.
Like, as crazy as the Myles Garrett thing is, I feel like he just re-signs with the Bengals now. Like it was like Myles Garrett was like on everyone's radar, like everyone was fired up. And then all of a sudden he just re-signs with the Browns. So that's how I feel like this is going to go too. Like, especially with the division, how it is. I don't know how you let a guy like that leave.
100%. And
like, come on.
If he signs, he's staying at a good team, right?
A great team. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, but the Myles Garrett thing, I don't understand. They're acting like Myles Garrett's going to play offense too. Like, right? He's going to be like Hunter, and he's going to try and go both ways. We still need to score touchdowns, Cleveland.
Yeah. They have some work to do, I feel like, in the offseason as well.
For sure.
I mean, like anyone else, but like if Myles Garrett left, that the team's done. I feel like.
But it
because
frees
then
up a lot of money.
it does, but it also gets the dominoes.
Pick.
It also gets the dominoes flowing, though. Other guys want to bounce too.
Right.
Like
you're saying that if he would have signed with Detroit or Washington or something like that, the rest of the teammates are kind of like, okay, we're done. Like, I see what you guys are doing here.
Yeah, this is a rebuild. It turns into a total rebuild, and everybody just jumps ship.
Right. I don't know. Was there any more NFL free agency things? I think we covered most of them. I don't, at least big ones, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how about Geno going to Oakland? That's an interesting move.
It's an interesting move because who goes to Seattle?
Right.
And now that Metcalf's gone and they have and like it looks like, they're kind of going through a rebuild or like kind of like having a fire sale. It's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to end up there.
Well, did they get any
I'd love to see maybe Russ goes back.
I actually heard that on Pardon My Take this morning. I was listening to it and they were calling him Russie, and they're like, what if Russie goes back? So could be an option.
That would be terrible.
If he goes back there?
It would be terrible for anyone to go there right now.
Oh yeah, because he's got no weapons.
Yeah.
Like Russ at that age, like he's not going to want to go to a team where they're like, we're going to rebuild in a couple years. He's not in a position to be on a rebuild team.
Well, yeah, and he wants 2 years, 80.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know how close to that he's going to get, but I don't know. It's just I'm not like opposed to him being the Steeler quarterback. I'm not opposed to Justin Fields being the Steeler quarterback if you give Justin Fields the entire season.
Yeah. You can't go back and forth. You can't go back and forth and bring situational quarterback. Like that doesn't work. These guys got to get in the game. They got to get a feel for the game. Like you can't just come in cold off the bench with expectations of just, scoring or getting a first down every single time. But with those weapons, I really do think Justin Fields can have a really good year.
Yeah,
but they got to
sign Najee.
They got to pick one. They got to pick one and go with it.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like they're gonna let Fields test free agency market now, starting today. We'll see. He's gonna find out what other people think about him, right?
What's your take on that? Do you think people are going to pay? Would Seattle come out and say we want him? I don't think so either, because he didn't really get an opportunity to shine last year. So they're like, well,
I mean, he played the 6 games. He was 4-2. He's a running quarterback, is what he looked like, right? And it's what he's labeled as, really. So
for sure.
So I don't know how many teams are going to be cool with that. If
you're DK, who do you want, Russ?
Yeah, probably. Or Darny Dimes.
We have to go back to the drawing board. We have to come up with a new nickname for Sam Darnold.
Well, they have that other nickname, GEQBUS or something. Look it up. I don't know. It's like some dumb nickname about like a subreddit called the Darnold. It's like the Geo Earth quarterback of the United States or something. I don't know if it was like a Viking thing or something like that. It's really dumb, and I will not call him that. I will call him Darny Dimes if he signs with the Steelers. If not, I don't really care about him.
Let's table that. I think that if he comes to Pittsburgh, I'm just not a Darny Dimes fan right now. I think we need to think of another one.
We'll figure it out.
All right. So Davante to the Rams. We got Za'Darius, NCAA basketball, man. NCAA basketball is hot right now. Michigan State looked really good against Michigan yesterday.
Yeah. I do have one problem with the state game.
Okay. I knew you would.
I mean, come on, dude. You like they weren't stomping on your logo. Like
they wouldn't get out of the way. No.
What do you mean? The game is in play.
Hold on. Before everyone gets all over me, I am a fair weather-ish Michigan State fan. As Fred eloquently put it, my safety school was Ferris State. That's where I went to school, right? My wife is a graduate of Michigan, so I'm a Michigan fan, but I'm not gonna pick one side or the other in this situation. But here's my thing, and those of you who watched last night, and this is what Fred's talking about. I wish I had the video that I could have queued up, but the Michigan players were standing in the middle of the court. They knew the tradition of Michigan State was to bring the seniors out. They kissed the middle of the floor, and all the Michigan State players said that they give them room, and they didn't move.
Wait a
they
second.
didn't respect the tradition.
Wait, listen. How does these Michigan players know about the kiss the floor bullshit during the game? They're not. No way. No way. Nobody knows about that.
And it wasn't the first one. So the first one had went out and did it. This was the second guy that was coming out, wasn't it?
If I'm a Michigan guy, though, I still don't know what the fuck you're doing.
And to be honest with you, I don't care.
Yeah, and somebody shooting a free throw. Like, dude, you want to suck off the logo? Do it on your own time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do it some other time. Like the tradition, like, give me a break, dude. Like, that was just silly. Now, I understand both sides. I understand the state guy sticking up for this dumbass lick the floor or whatever the fuck they do. But like, you have to understand that I don't even know if those kids knew what was going on. There's a free throw going on.
Right. Well, that's a great point. I mean, these kids are young, right? And
yeah.
Izzo kind of made it sound after the game like he blew it off, but Izzo was like, we've been doing this for 30 years. How do you not know? Like, look, not everyone cares about your basketball team, Tom.
Yeah, I didn't really know about that. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know about it until I read about it.
Right.
Like when at our school, when the walk-ons come in and stuff like that, we all get up and clap. We don't go suck off the pirate. You know, like come on, man.
Really, at Seton Hall, you don't really have like senior walk-offs because they all leave when they're sophomores.
We don't have, all our seniors are transfers. We're a portal school.
They don't know the Seton Hall tradition.
They don't get to senior year. No, we don't recruit anymore. We're a portal school. Now, it's going to change. It's going to change next year with the NIL redistributing the money. We talked about that offline once.
Absolutely. So, NCAA Basketball Championship Week.
Some guys already punched their ticket.
Yep. Has anything changed since last week, in your opinion, of who you see winning this? Like, obviously, Duke's still rolling. Auburn lost, right?
Twice.
Wow. And then, how about the buzzer beater St. John win?
Huge, man. The Johnnies, that game was crazy.
It was a
It was also very reminiscent of an old school Big East game. Guys were falling all on the floor, no calls. Like it got a little they let them play. Like, which is old school Big East.
Which they should. Let them play.
Yes. Johnnies look good, man, but like I'm not going to count out UConn. We'll see what happens. Big East tournament starts Wednesday.
Yeah.
For teams like us that are in the bottom half, but like the Thursday when the other teams play up top, we'll see. I'm not gonna. There's something about UConn that I think you. First of all, I mean, obviously, you're not gonna. It's like counting out the Chiefs, right? So
right.
So you can't like just out of merit, you can't count them out. But I watch a lot of Big East ball, and I'm not counting them out. And like they may win the Big East tournament. UConn may win the Big East tournament.
Okay.
Now they're going to be in the tourney anyway. But I'm saying that they may win the Big East tournament. UConn. That would be my pick to win the Big East tournament.
Okay, and then we also got. Say that again.
If not the Seton Hall Pirates.
One or the other. I don't think I knew that the Seton Hall their mascot was the Pirates, to be honest with you.
And you expect me to know that? And you expect me?
I would think I was today years old.
And you expect me to know that when you're a freshman or a walk-on, you got to go lick the floor at Michigan State?
Now the rumor, right? Understandable. And now the rumor is Michigan State could be a number 1 seed.
It'll be close. It depends
Right.
on the Big Ten tournament.
Right.
We'll find it's championship week, man. It's just awesome. Like
one of the best times in college basketball is this next month. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this week here just is like it kicks everything off because you'll have all the tournaments this week and then Selection Sunday and then we get right into it.
Right.
And then it's like I just wish that it wasn't just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, to be honest, when they play in the tournaments.
What do you mean?
When they play in the big dance.
Okay.
I just wish it was every single day.
Okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
It's like, well, like the first weekend, the first 2 days, that Thursday, Friday is all day.
Yeah.
And then I just wish, dude, spread it out and have it every single day, all day. It's just, but it does open the door for, and I know you hate this, but it opens the door for women's college basketball to play on the, Now, Juju dropped it yesterday. Game of the day. Look at the ratings, the TV sports ratings. Game of the day.
Hold up. Here. Let me tell you, the correspondence between Fred and I usually starts right after this show, talking about the next show. And Fred will update me on every women's basketball. I have no clue who Juju is. I don't know who P Buckets is, but I can tell you that she's dropped 31, 30 because I get the updates from Fred. He says, I hate women. I hate women's sports. And wants to tell me that the ratings for women's college basketball are higher than the PGA.
No. That wasn't the stat. The stat.
Fred, I'll go back to the text.
No, you can bring the receipt up, but I'm going to retell you what the stat was.
Okay.
A regular season WNBA game, not a college basketball. A WNBA regular season game has equal ratings than a Sunday PGA, and not a major PGA, just a regular Sunday.
Like
final
the one
round.
that was like the Arnold Palmer Invitational, like last week.
Yeah, that nobody watched yesterday.
Watch the whole thing, Fred.
Yeah, you and their parents.
You stole that line from me. Because that's what I told who was watching the NCAA or the women's college basketball. It was like boyfriends and their parents, and that was it. That's their ratings. But I watched yesterday a good majority of that tournament yesterday because Colin Morikawa is one of my favorite PGA golfers.
He choked.
And he choked. Did he choke, or did Henley's eagle have a little bit to do with it on 16? Like that was a phenomenal shot.
I'm not sure it was a total choke job.
He had 2 bogeys in the back 9. That hurt. Yeah. That's kind of a choke job. You were up 3 at one point, up 2 with 5 holes to go. But I get it. Not a lot of people love PGA golf the way I love PGA golf.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You need to start to get on board because the numbers show, not me. This isn't me talking. Look up the numbers.
We're not comparing WNBA to I'm not doing it. Like I can't, and I don't need to get on board. Here's what I will tell you.
Let me ask you, what is your disdain for women and women's sports?
It's not that I don't have a disdain for women. I don't have a disdain for women. I just don't. Number one, I'm an offensive guy when it comes to football, when it comes to basketball. Like 40, 45 final scores in the games are not really that appealing to me. Now, I will, however, tell you that I will do this, Fred. For the show and our friendship, I will watch the Women's National Championship, and I will watch the WNBA only if it goes to Game 7. Fair enough?
Yeah, I mean, well, the Women's National Championship is, I mean, everybody who doesn't, live under a rock is probably watching that game. Yes. Look at the numbers, Brad. Look at the numbers.
I thought you were that was our conversation. We were going to bring the numbers to me because I did not believe you.
I'll bring the numbers. I told you the numbers the first time about the PGA. Now you don't like that because you're a PGA guy. It's like the disdain for women is just it's unbelievable. You got daughters. You should be promoting women's sports. It's an untapped market. It's only getting bigger
because of Ann Splashaway. She started this whole thing.
Well, let's not. No, I don't want to diminish what the Cheryl Swoops of the world and the Diana Taurasi's have done to pave the way for Ann Splashaway. But
what about Cheryl Miller? You gonna leave her off that list?
Of course, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Miller, like those are the women who paved the way for the Ann Splashaways of the world.
And the Angel, what's Angel Reese's nickname?
The Bayou Barbie. Look it up.
I do. Unfortunately, that does sound familiar.
But she can't hold a candle to Ann Splashaway. She'll get you 10 boards. She may get you 10 points, but she's not throwing down logo threes. I'm sorry. Like, she's not. And watch out for the Fever this year. I know you don't care. Watch out for the Fever this year. They reloaded. So, and my team, the Liberty, the defending champions of the WNBA.
Whoa. Wait a second here. This is the first I heard that the New York Liberty is your team.
Yeah. What do you mean? That's my WNBA team, the Liberty.
Who's your favorite NBA team, Fred?
The Liberty.
NBA.
Oh, the Sixers.
Okay, so you pick one from Philly, then you pick one from New York. Does people in Philly hate the WNBA? Is there a WNBA team in Philly?
No.
Oh, that's why you had to go to New York. Okay.
Well, I'm a Sixer fan because when I was a young kid, when I first started playing basketball at the age of 6, 7, 8, I loved Dr. J. That's the only reason. And listen, I've had a terrible fanship with the Sixers. The whole trust the process, all that shit. I'm not just like, hey, I want to be a Sixer guy. Nobody wants to be a Sixer guy. Like, like especially now.
Right.
I mean, especially after trust the process. And so I was a big Dr. J guy. I thought he was cool. Growing up in my area out here, it was either Boston, Lakers, Sixers, Knicks. Like it's very spread out a little bit.
Right. But speaking of Boston, they beat the Lakers this weekend, and now LeBron's out for 2 weeks.
Beat him up. He's out 2 weeks. Like Kyrie just ruined the whole Dallas versus Lakers thing because like AD will be back. And it's like I was looking forward to like a healthy AD playing against Luka. Like,
right.
Yeah. And it's like we're not going to see that. So Dallas is probably not going to make the playoffs.
Oh no. No, their season's done. We do got to talk a little Pistons, and then we'll wrap up. We won last night against Portland. Saturday was an interesting game for me, and I was pretty excited coming down to the fourth quarter, playing against Golden State. We're hanging in there, and all of a sudden, like it's turnover after turnover. Cade had 2-3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes in like big situations that could have been momentum changers. I think that the Pistons are a good team. I think what we're lacking right now is that like confident person like a Steph Curry that can take over the game in the last 2 minutes, because Cade didn't show that on Saturday. Did you get a chance to see the end of that game? Yeah.
And once you start fucking with Steph on the bench and trying to get like in his head and stuff, you don't get in his head.
Right.
Like
Isaiah Stewart got a little ahead of himself there, and he tried to piss this guy off.
Yeah, he tried to make Sports Center. He did make Sports Center
in a negative way.
Yes, because Steph was draining after that. So I do like the Pistons. I think they're a good team. And like I said, I'm going to stand by this. They're a number 6 seed and they're out in the first round, which is still a great season.
It is a great season.
They're going to end up playing New York.
Nice little small market team.
Detroit.
But I don't know. I just was a little frustrated with like the lack of leadership that Cade showed Saturday night, and I think that his inexperience was magnified against a team like Golden State, who's looking really good after the Jimmy Butler trade.
Dude. Yeah, they're going to end up now. They're moving up a little bit, but what's going to happen with Golden State is they're only going to get to 6 maybe as well, and then they're going to end up playing the Nuggets or Lakers. So yeah. I'm not sure they make it past the first round. It'll be interesting, right. But I'm not sure. They're a cool little team though.
That actually leads me into another topic that we were going to talk about, keeping on the NBA track. Like, there was a lot of controversy going on last week that if you follow the NBA, it was very interesting. And now number one was Charles Barkley coming out saying that, like, look, ESPN only wants to talk about the Lakers and they only want to talk about Golden State. Can we have a conversation about Cleveland? Can we have a conversation about Oklahoma? OKC. And with that being said, this SGA kid is something different, dude.
Crazy.
Good. Dropping 51. And he played for the Canadian team, right? He's Canadian. Am I correct? Okay. So, and then Denver goes out and goes on a 10-0 run right out the beginning of the game. OKC ends up winning the game at the end. Now, Denver's a tough team in the West.
Yes, I do think that first of all, I think the Celtics go to the finals again. No question out of the East. I know Cleveland's cool and stuff, and they're a great little team. And so I just don't think they beat the Celtics in the East finals. In the West, I think OKC chokes.
And I think that this goes back to the point I was saying about the Pistons. I think they're a good team, but they don't have a Steph, LeBron.
Yeah, they don't have a killer. They need a killer.
Nobody's going to step up and make those big plays within the last 2 minutes.
Nobody. Well, I mean, Cade is the only guy that really wants the ball in the situation. I wouldn't count out yes, true.
He took that shot. He missed it, but I think it was not the best shot of selections. But I think
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at giving the rock to Toby. Like, in a situation, he's your veteran,
Right.
But Cade's got to run the floor. He's got to run the team. It runs through Cade, and this is great experience for Cade.
Good point. Great point.
For when he leaves and goes somewhere else.
Oh, Jesus. No, come on. We don't know. Don't say that. Don't
motorcade.
You motorcade, right? Yeah, he's gone. And then, obviously, last but not least, we'll touch real briefly on it before we go. But the LeBron Stephen A. thing.
That was a little crazy.
It was crazy that LeBron's like, and I thought
it's like the game just ended.
No. Okay. So I just heard this morning that it was during a timeout.
Was that a timeout, that video?
So I thought it was the end of the game, but this morning I heard on Pardon My Take that it was during a timeout.
That's even better.
During a timeout's way better.
Yes.
Way better.
I mean,
but I don't know.
I feel like Stephen A. apologized.
Well, I don't know if he necessarily apologized. He basically was like, look,
I'm gonna take you with me. I gotta take Hank out.
Hank's gotta go. But I think there he is. Look at this guy. Give the boy a haircut, Fred.
We like the shag.
Shabby chic.
He had a great birthday yesterday.
Oh, yeah. What'd you guys do for his birthday?
He had McDonald's. His mom got him McDonald's. She got him a pop cup from Starbucks.
Wow. That dude was spoiled.
Yes. He had a good day yesterday. Here's the pool.
Oh, boy. It's almost time.
It's almost time. Can't wait, man.
But, yeah. So, I don't know if he necessarily apologized, Stephen A. Smith, but he was like, look, that was a father. I respect him coming at me as a father. But the other thing is, like, dude, you put your kid in this situation. Like, you can't get upset when he gets scrutinized. Like, you've been scrutinized your entire life. You know what comes with this position. You knew what you were getting your son into. You can't whine about it. You can't. Dude. He's got to take his lumps. He's got to grow up. He's got to be a man.
It's also like Stephen A. Smith is not talking about some high school kid. He's talking about an NBA kid, an NBA player. Yeah. So, like, keep his name out of your mouth. That's what I do for a living.
Like, exactly.
I mean, literally, that's what Stephen A. Smith does for a living. Like, so now I get the whole father thing and stuff like that. And you don't have to.
You're going to defend your kid all the time, but you can't put him in a position.
It's going to get personal, like, you know, when anyone talks about anyone's kid, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was a little, I thought it was kind of cool. Like that he confronted Stephen A. at, like, you know, I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it gave a little something to the NBA that because I was, you know, we were talking about this too. Like, no one's watching the NBA, dude.
No.
And when you look at the numbers,
Jake Von Derek, right? Like a couple of guys.
Look, I'm watching here and there, but like if college basketball is on, especially right now, I'm not watching it in an NBA game and then tuning in and finding out that two of the starters are sitting.
100%. Are you watching here? This brings up a great question, and we'll end on this. Boston, LA, they're playing each other. Are you watching
regular season?
Regular season. Late in the season, like right now. Are you watching that, or are you watching girls' college basketball?
Depending on the situation of the girls' college basketball. Like yesterday, the championship game, UCLA USC. I'm watching that all day.
Over NBA.
Boston and the Lakers regular season. Yeah, 100%. Any regular season game in the NBA, I'm definitely watching a championship game, or probably just in general, Juju and Kiki go up against Lauren Betts.
Who's Kiki?
Just leave it there.
Okay.
That's the tandem, Juju and Kiki at USC.
All right. Once again, we'll end on women's sports. Fred?
She passed Ann Splashaway for the most points in the first two seasons of college. So if you know, I mean, she's the next. Another thing, real quick. Do you know what Ann Splashaway's salary is?
I don't. However, doesn't she have, it's not that much.
It's $75,000.
But isn't her endorsement deal like?
Well, yes, insane? But I just mean that's the WNBA salary for the rookie.
Okay, so I think it's kind of proving my point. Why she only makes $75,000, but
because you're against equal gender pay gap.
Oh my gosh! I did not say that.
Yes, that's what you're against.
No,
you don't want equality in the pay.
I want equality, but when Angel Reese comes out and says she should get NBA money, I think you need to make your team NBA money as well. As far as ticket sales, merchandise sales, like show your work.
I mean, listen, nobody in the WNBA is going to make $40 million a year. No, it's not going to happen. It can't happen because the numbers aren't there, like you said. So that's one thing. Now their CBA is coming up, and they're talking about sitting out and stuff like that. I'm not sure that's happening either. Like,
be careful what you do there, girls.
Yeah. So, but
you could end the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, or you could it would just, you know, I mean, it would be terrible. It would be a terrible thing for a sport that's on the rise.
And we'll end on that. Fred, I appreciate you once again, bro. We'll see you next week. Have a good week, man. Take care.
Thanks again. Peace out.
All right.